Hey y'all, it's the early morning. I decided to pull some cards out. Early morning, I mean it's past midnight and I'm still up. It's nice and quiet. So I was just sitting here. I said, well, I was called to the table. I said, well, let me light my candle and see what's going on. Um, these cards I had on my table for a while, just kind of, manifesting in the energy before I actually pulled them out. I purchased the deck some months ago, but, I like to give things time. So I said, well, let me go ahead and pull out some of those cards. It's the Ancestral Path Tarot deck, by the way. Those are these large cards you see here. And my Chakra Oracle cards and then the other Lenormand Clarifier. So I said, well, you know what? I'm not even going to shuffle like I normally do. How you all see me when I use this deck. I said, well, I'm just going to, cut the cards and pick out the first three cards on the top of the deck. So I did that for each of these different decks. And I just laid them out how I felt led to do. So I've been sitting here for the last 20 minutes, you guys, and just kind of, taking in the energy here. And I want to tell you what is here on the table. All right, y'all. So I do have a couple here. I have a masculine and I have a feminine. The masculine is showing themselves by way of this Nine of Staffs. So I would consider that like the Nine of Wands. So definitely action-oriented person. And then the Queen of Cups is here. So there was a child conceived. I can go ahead and get down to that business because even though this is like a fully like developed child still in the womb, it's the Hang One card. Like it's similar to the Hangman. So that means a life-changing decision, right? And then no wonder, clarifying wise, from the Lenormand deck are the storks. The storks bring life, a baby stork, message of birth, right, is what the stork symbolizes. There's two there. So you guys, what I've come to in this conclusion is that this would be the runner in the situation. So if you're familiar with the past readings I've done, there's obviously someone who has escaped a situation, possibly to clear their mind or possibly to get away from this Queen of Cups energy. And I know now why, because the Queen of Cups needs to make up their mind what they're going to do. Possibly this this young man, I'll say young man because I feel like it's a full grown man, but they're just immature in their mind and their actions, right? So I feel like there was an ultimatum on the table to where this Queen of Cups was forced with a life-changing decision, right? So I can also tell that this was like a fun time couple, like they got together to have fun. Vanity is here. That's possibly how they met at a party, right? Nobody cared about anything but them own selves and having a good time. So this isn't about getting to know someone. This is about you can be mine for the night and that's it. But what this young man in the Nine of Staffs card, they pretty much felt like the world was wide open to them. Like, they could have their way with anything. For some reason, I feel like they were just conditioned to know that it was okay for them to kind of roam free. There's like little at all supervision here because they were pretty much taught to be independent at a young age, but their mind never fully developed to be able to handle that sort of responsibility. So it turned into dependency on others for what others could do for them. How can they survive? How can I, have food for tonight is what I'm seeing in this picture. Who's going to cook my food for me to eat? I'm out here enjoying the land of the world and the world is at my feet. I can do whatever I want. I've just been ordained to be able to roam free. But at the end of the day, I'm going to be hungry. So who's going to take care of that for me? That's the attitude here. Now, the clarifier that came out with this energy, with the vanity and, this person who's just kind of like, yeah, who's going to tend to me attitude. There's the dice card. So this has to do with risk-taking, gambling. So to me, there's no accountability here. Everything is a game by way of this dice. to me for this person in this card. All right, so here's where I'm at. Here's where I'm going with this. This Queen of Cups, right? Look at her. Like, this is a glamorous, I almost look at this as a portrait. So let me shift over here to the side to this Faith card. So you see this young lady here in the card? She's looking like, man, one day I can have a child. That a child would mean the world to me, you know? And, you know, I'll just be able to be treated like a queen, like somebody at my beck and call, you know? And I believe that God would want me to have that. But look at how straggly her hair is. Like she's not the same person that sees themselves in this light. But she has faith that this can happen. But her thought is she has to have a child. A child will make her complete, right? Symbolizing this hang one, this decision. So here's where I'm going with this, you all. Instead of, you know, they had the oops baby, right? You know, the fun time, vanity, the risk, this person who's at my beck and call, you know, let me just go out and willy-nilly do things the way I want to. And, you know, it'll work out. Though, you know, of course, I don't want a child. I want to be free. I want to roam the land. So this Queen of Cups and this card is saying, no, finally I can be somebody. Finally, I can achieve what it is that I think is going to make me finally be like who I want to be. Because, you know, this is all imaginary to them, but they're looking towards something, like having faith that it could happen. And it did happen. Maybe they were in a position to where their job didn't allow them to, you know, be able to be in a position to have a child, or maybe what they were doing, a child would get in the way. You know, maybe it's possibly they were in a situation to where it was a high potential to get impregnated, you know, not to call anybody out for their occupation. I'm not judging here, but that was not the plan, to get pregnant, even though they were in full, you know, environment to be able to do so. And if you don't catch what I'm putting down, possibly they were in the sex industry. Let's say that. So now they're thinking, you know what? I do want a child. And this person, I love how they're just free. And it seems like they have no qualms. They don't have to worry about anything. They have me to take care of them. Queen of Cups energy. So Queen of Cups was forced with this decision to keep this child, to be made complete and to be made whole. Because like I said, this young lady in this picture, she's hoping to one day for God to hear her cry, answer her prayers. What's going to make her be a better person? Because she has this picture of herself on the wall. Even if it's not a physical wall, it's imaginary. She sees herself as being the queen. But here's the thing, you guys. She did something. Either she's contemplating doing it or she did it. And that's when that missing child energy comes up. What happened to the child? You know why? Because she's going through her own awakening. Look at the enlightenment. When I saw this card with this energy, I heard the song Prodigal Son. You know, the scripture in the Bible, like, come back to me. She's being forced now to awaken. Everything that she had gone against, she knew that this was something she asked for. She asked for this child. But if she went ahead and disposed of this baby, I'm sorry that that's just rolling off of my mouth right now, but that's where we are. That's the reality of where we are. She's being forced to deal with this now. So whatever it brought her, because I feel like it brought her some sort of fame or fortune or something by way of whatever that is, whatever connections happen when you sacrifice a person, a child, whatever. I feel like she did it. But now she's being forced to bring truth, bring light to this. You see that? Look at this. Let me show you all something. This ship card is a distance, has to do with distance, right? I can't help but notice this number 3 in the top left-hand corner, right? Circle of life, a baby, embryo, child, right? Look at the same position on this Queen of Cups card. It's a stained glass image of a cup, So this is life to them. This is everything that means anything to them in a stained glass window. This is about priorities. This is about what speaks to you. Queen of Cups. A cup would speak to the Queen of Cups. Same position as this 3, right? Distance. What's at a distance that needs to be reckoned with? Who's calling from a distance? Enlightenment card. You all follow me. You see this image, this awakening prodigal son energy. You're my child is what Spirit is saying to this child. You're mine. So if this child went on to glory by the way of the hands of this Queen of Cups, or either this young man in this 9 of Staves card, whoever did it, they were both together in on it. So the enlightenment card, top left corner, is the sun, right? The enlightenment. She's being enlightened here. She's looking to that cup as that's a representation of her. Same thing with the number 3. Somebody's missing out of this. That child is missing out of this equation, and she's being forced to reckon with this. How could she give away such a beautiful gift? How could she lose such a prize that she once looked forward to? She thought that was going to make her completely happy. She had faith that she would one day get to this status of being a queen. And the only way she was going to do that was to become with child. She got what she wanted, but somebody else isn't on board with it. So they said, you need to handle that. So however they handled it, that's what's in question right now. And I'm not talking about an abortion, unless it was self-inflicted. Or it could have been after the birth of the child. So now we're dealing with a homicide. So you guys, before I lay my head down to go to sleep, I wanted to at least get this on a recording. And, I could have more information in the morning, but this was so powerful, I just had to go ahead and record it, all right? So that's what we have here. Hope this helps.